What's up, humans? How's it hanging? I'm the Nerdy Beard, and welcome back to World of Warplanes. And today we have the Tier 5 American Heavy Fighter, the P-38F Lightning. And this is a bit of a funky looking beast. You got the double fuselage, I suppose, with the long engine mounts there and the connected tail. It does have a very, very unique look, and I think the design of this aircraft allows it to be quite fast, even though it is a bigger and heavier aircraft. Now, like the Beaufighter, the British Tier 5, this thing is quite well armed. You can see in the front here, it has 5 guns facing forward, and you do have the options of bombs or rockets. Now, if we jump into the upgrade, so it doesn't have as many guns as the Beaufighter. Keep that in mind. So it does form a similar role where you can choose to attack aerial targets, preferably the bigger, slower aerial targets, or you can go for ground fighting. Now, I haven't quite unlocked the rockets yet. I could, but I just, I choose the aerial combat option over the ground assault. But you have the choice here. As I said, you've got 500-pound bombs, big bombs that make a very loud bang, or the 12 rockets. Now, 12 rockets is a lot, and you can certainly do a lot of damage with that. The other choice you could make here is in the guns. So you can see here the 4 machine guns mounted across the nose there. That one doesn't change, but you have the option of 3 different cannons. So as we go through the list, this first cannon that you have here is not bad. It's got a good rate of fire and a reasonably good range, but it really isn't much of a match for the first upgrade to the 20mm. The 20mm is definitely a long-distance friend cannon. It is much longer than the range of the machine guns, so you have about 200 meters, was it? Yeah, 200 meters of initial damage you can achieve with the cannon, and then your machine guns kick in to finish off your target. Now, you also have the option of this stonking great 37mm gun. It is a cannon, and it basically changes the way that you attack your targets completely. You've got the long range option with the machine guns to finish it off, or you've basically got the shotgun directly to the face, short range assault rifle here. It is an absolutely stonking great gun, and it fires completely different. It is a very slow firing weapon, but the damage that it achieves is absolutely phenomenal. So this is very much a gun for taking out other heavy aircraft, for taking out those attack aircraft when they get down low and they start attacking your points, or for ground assault as well. It does put out some pretty decent damage. But you can see there the rate of fire of 120, let me see, is 120 rounds per minute, as opposed to the previous gun of 400. So take that into account with your own playstyles, guys, when you're choosing which upgrade to mount. Between these two cannons here, it really depends on what you want to do with the aircraft. If you think that you need more rounds firing forward in order to hit your targets, then I would suggest you go with the 20mm. It just gives you that little bit more time in terms of distance and more rounds a minute into your target to secure that kill. For me, I don't mind being up close range, and I'm reasonably confident that I can hit the target most times. So at this stage, I'm sticking with 37mm. However, I imagine if I'm having a rough day and I'm not really hitting much that I'm firing at, then my next game I will probably switch back to the 20mm. So very much up to your individual playstyles there. Now, in terms of the fuselage here, you've got the one upgrade, which is pretty much every aircraft. There's no reason why you shouldn't do that. It just gives you more hit points, more airspeed, so the survivability score does go up. Now, it doesn't have a huge survivability score. That's only a score of 9, but that's pretty much because if you get something quick that's behind this aircraft, like every other big aircraft in the game, you're going down. There really isn't much you can do about it. It just doesn't turn that well. But what you do have is the benefit of a really big pair of engines. So you've got 3 upgrades. So you've got 2 upgrades, but 3 possible choices. Obviously, you would go for the bigger, more powerful engines, and this allows this aircraft to do some really good speeds. So you've got an airspeed score of 54 there, which is not bad at all, and this thing continues to accelerate even when you start to point the nose up. It has got a really good 25-second boost, and it will allow you to get up into those awesome altitudes that basically anything else that's smaller, multi-roles or direct fighters just can't seem to follow. Generally, you'd only be concerned about maybe the Germans, maybe the American fighters, but their boost will kick out long before yours does, and you can see there the altitude performance score is 67. This thing gets well over 2 kilometers up into the air and can still fight in its optimal range. So very versatile aircraft. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it is similar to the Beaufighter in the fact that it is a heavy fighter and it is well armed, but it really, you can't play them the same. This thing does not have the enormous amount of firepower that the Beaufighter can deliver, and it does not have a rear turret. So you don't sit in one line for very long is sort of where I'm getting at. You really can't afford to be caught out flying in straight lines too often. Now, a good scan of your area, so holding that right mouse button if that's the button you use, and having a look left and right if you've been in an area for a while to make sure nothing's getting behind you is a very good idea. Just yeah, you really can't afford to get caught out with this aircraft because its defensive options are very limited apart from that ability to get high up in the air. But if that's where you already are, then yeah, you would be in a bit of trouble. Okay, so jumping into the service here, everything is as normal for all my other aircraft. We've got the universal ammunition loaded. I have chosen, like I said, to go with the 500-pound bombs, and I have the extinguisher, the restarter, and the control surface trim. Now, I will say that it's probably more beneficial, depending on your playstyle, of course, that you swap out the fire extinguisher for a first aid kit to keep the pilot in the game. I have found that, as with a lot of the American aircraft that I've flown, the pilot is quite susceptible to taking damage, more so than the aircraft seems to be caught on fire. However, you can sort of deal with that pilot, you can get out of the way, but if you're on fire, your hit points are just going to keep going down. So I suppose I choose for that reason to stick with the extinguishers, but it might be worthwhile for you guys if you find that you just never get caught on fire in this aircraft. Then that's the one to swap out for sure. But you definitely lose the engines quite often with two of them. They're big and they're vulnerable, and quite often, at least once, maybe even twice every game that I play in this aircraft, I will lose an engine or a wing. So these are definitely important. Alrighty, well, I think that's about it for the session here in the hangar. We'll just do a quick rotation again, just to have a look at it. And I quite like the look of it. It is a very iconic model of the American aircraft, and it is quite fun. So I'm going to pause it here, jump into a battle, and hopefully we can get a competent team. It's been a bit rough in the last couple of days, but we'll see how we go. See you in a sec. Okay, we are in game now. As usual, I'm going to go straight for one of these airfields. Hopefully a couple of my teammates go with me and we can get this party started. Yeah, looks like, well, maybe one of them. That's alright. One is better than none. So, I don't know what it is. This game tends to love to give me 3-point matches to capture every time I do a video, but that's okay because we are in an aircraft now that we can certainly get amongst it and participate in capturing all the points. It's not really like it would be in a fighter where I've got to score more points defending, but yeah, here we go, straight into it. So I'm looking for some bigger stuff to shoot. Oh, aircraft is into me. Alright, so I'm going to go after this guy first. So if we can get rid of the enemy first, now listen to this cannon. If I can score some hits. So it is basically just a big old shotgun. Let's get a little bit closer perhaps. Maybe we can get an improve on the aim. Almost. Now it is the same aircraft, so I should be able to outperform it, but let's see. I am behind it. I'm in a prime position, and there we go. So it took a little longer than I was expecting, but oh, there goes an engine. So I think I've got a ram there. That's okay. Right, so we are in a bit of a nasty position. So unfortunately, the enemy came straight down here, and it was only me and one other. So this, yeah, this might be a quick start to this game for myself. I think I'm just about history anyway. This Beaufighter is pretty much interested in ramming me, and his tail gun is probably going to get me here. So yeah, we'll go north next time, and we'll start again. We'll come in on the middle point there and see if we can earn some capture points that way. Yeah, okay, that's it. Okay, not a good start. So it was all a bit rushed there, and as I mentioned earlier, once you get surrounded, there really isn't a lot you can do. It's pretty much you just turn and hope to survive. It wouldn't have really done me any favors there to boost up into the sky because there was at least one other heavy fighter there, and he would have been able to chase me quite easily. So, at a disadvantage straight away. Now, what have we got? We've got a couple of guys up in the air. Now, this is a good way to show off the guns. Hopefully, this guy won't make me look like a bit of a fool and outmaneuver me. We'll see how we go. So, you can hear that cannon straight away. Look at the damage that it's doing. That is phenomenal. That is a very powerful anti-aircraft gun. But, like I said, you can hear the fact that it only fires around every second or so, which is not really that effective at distance, and certainly not very effective at smaller, faster moving targets. So, just keep that in mind, guys, when you're choosing your loadout, that while the gun is quite good, you're really not going to be able to use it effectively against fighters unless they're a bit silly and fly in straight lines. Okay, so we've managed to take a breath and we've working on what's going on here. So it looks like a lot of my team are all up here in this area, so they need to be heading into the point. And you can see, look, I'm 1600 meters and climbing, and I'm still well and truly inside the optimal range for this aircraft, which is great. Now, if I can get this guy here, maybe just throw a little boost. You see 25 seconds there, very handy. If I can get this guy while he's being a bit silly and flying in a straight line. Oh, didn't quite get enough damage into him, so I'm going to get out of here. He will easily outturn me. Ooh, that hurt. What was that? I think that might have been some anti-air. Okay, yeah. So we're in a bit of trouble again. And I keep boosting. Do that funky turn trick. So you move your nose around. Lost a wing as well. And continue to boost and turn. And you can see they're up into 2300 meters quite quickly. And they just cannot follow you. So now then it's going to be a dive. Oh, okay. Looks like he could get up there. That's a pain. Alright, but if we can get rid of this guy. See, the aircraft is absolutely wrecked. We're not going to be able to do a whole lot. Okay. Let's see what we can do. While we've still got a few points remaining. It's probably going to be not, because that German aircraft is after me, and he is definitely after blood. So I'm pretty much going to have to ride this one out. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like any of my my teammates are going to be any help at all. Yeah, today has not been a very good day. I've found a whole lot of window lickers is probably the best way to describe them. Yeah, I think they're so concerned with the scenery and how pretty everything looks that they forget that they're here to play a game of Warplanes, which is very, very frustrating. Okay, alrighty, got a bit of damage there. Let's see if we can't salvage this just a little bit. Okay, so we got the middle point, but we've lost the airfield, which is not good, and I'm getting hammered by rear guns. Okay, yeah, this has been a bit of a crazy start. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Okay, excellent. So I was just slightly outside of his firing arc there for his turret, obviously. That's great. Now we're going to get down here. We're going to take out this attack aircraft and see if we can't get some work done. I'd imagine I've scored a few points now, but I don't think I'm getting anywhere near achieving any chevrons because it's just not really work that I should be doing, unfortunately. Now, we'll see how we go. I don't have much in the way of hit points left. A good strafing run from any of these aircraft will take me out. But we'll see how we go in terms of getting this point back. Okay, so easy kill on that one, but left ourselves a little bit open. Let's see what we can do. Okay, getting that boost around. Nah, this is, yeah, I'm pretty much, sorry guys, I'm not talking a whole lot at the moment. I'm just really concentrating on keeping myself alive and not trying to do anything silly. Lost another engine. So there it is. There's your example, guys. The reasons why you always want to keep that restarter in your kit, because you are going to lose these engines a lot. It is really frustrating, but it's going to happen. And come on, thank you, finally. I don't believe it. I have seen a friendly that can shoot down an aircraft. I didn't think it was coming, but amazing. Thank you very much. I think that was a 0, actually. Yep, I think that might have been that 0 right there. Okay, so the scoreline is coming, and we are 3-0 up. So from nowhere, looks like we're going to get a win, but that was pretty hectic. I'm going to need a moment to catch my breath, I think. I might just fly in a straight line and see how we go. But that's it. That's that game right there. So, you know what I'm going to do, guys? That's a good example of what happens when you're getting absolutely hammered by the enemy. I'm going to jump into another game, because otherwise this is going to be the world's shortest video. And I'll see if we can get something that's got a little bit more going on, and I can showcase some of the speeds and other features. So I will catch you in a second. Alrighty, guys. So we are back. Now we are on the, it looks like Grand Canyon sort of map. Very nice. I really do enjoy this map. And we have 5 points to capture. So, much better. Let's get a boost in. Let's get a bit of height. And let's get up to those heavy defense aircraft. Okay. So, a pretty good example in that last battle that you saw of just how, I suppose, ineffectual this aircraft can be when it gets surrounded. And I did mention it in the hangar at the start of the episode that it is really a feature of a lot of heavy aircraft. Bowfighter, not so much, or not as bad, I suppose, because it does have that rear gun, that turret that spins, and does afford you a little bit of protection. We get a bit closer here, and we'll get a few shots away on this guy. Okay, as I said, shotgun. It is very effective at close range. Oh, I'm still copping it here. Let's see what we got going on. So, yeah, oh, we're going to get this guy out, and we'll carry on. Okay, fantastic. So, it really doesn't like being hit from behind, I suppose. There's nothing else would. But it is quite susceptible to that sort of damage, because there really is nothing you can do about it. So, you do enjoy this style of aircraft. It is, yeah, you probably need to be focusing perhaps a little more on ground attack, more so than aerial combat, unless you are chasing the heavier targets. Here against these boomerangs, unless I get them in very favourable locations like that, there's really not a lot you can do about it. And the best, I suppose, method to deal with that is just to get out of there, get some height, get some distance, and try and spin around and come back without them following you. And as you saw, I did try that in the first game, but against real live players, they tend to pick that strategy pretty early, and they make me pay for basically running away. Okay, so I'm going to stick with the team here. It's probably, I don't know if it is the right call. There's plenty of aircraft here already, and there's no one going to that garrison. You can see on the bottom left of the map. That would be an easy point to capture, but doesn't matter. We stick with the team and we support them the best way we can. So, going to get after this bomber. If that Tomahawk there leaves me anything. Yes, fantastic. Thank you very much. That's him out. So that is the ground attack option is off the cards. They need to kill the defending aircraft, or we're going to get this point. Okay, no, I started firing just a little early. I forgot that I got the shotgun mounted there. That was a bit silly. And straight into the ground. So, now, that wasn't as, I suppose, accidental as you might think. Now, I wanted to showcase in that instance there, you get tunnel visioned with this aircraft, and I'm pretty sure the Beaufighter would have managed to recover that, but this aircraft does not pull up at all. You need a really, really long distance, so do not dive and attack things from the air like that. If you see an attack aircraft on the ground, loop around and get in behind it and have the ability to pull up. You want to be attacking whatever you can at a level standing like this. You do not want to be diving and going after anything. So if you even think you've got a little bit of time but you're not really sure, then that basically should tell you in your mind that you've already mucked it up and you're going to go and hit the deck. It is very, very hard to pull this aircraft up. Okay, so we've got ourselves a new aeroplane. We've gone back through the spawn menu and we've gotten that guy out there. So it's time to attack this center location. It looks like that bottom point down there, the garrison here, is not really an option for us. No one's going there, and now that it's being capped out, it's probably going to be very difficult to attack. Okay, well, there's a Hurricane just there. You know what? I think he might be... No, that guy's got him. Let's get after the Beaufighter. Alrighty, so he's turning around. Going to zoom in here and see what we can do. Hopefully he doesn't ram me. Nope, we're good. And he's out. Fantastic. So we got a lot of guns in this area. It's making this just a little bit easier for us, which is great. Okay, so what's below me? Alright, so remember, follow your own advice. Don't nosedive. That would be a silly thing to go after. Let's not do it. But we can get after this P-40 here. He's nice and flat, and looks like he's heading away from us, so this is a good target. Get a boost in there to catch up, and make this guy pay for shooting down one of our allies. Okay. So, good example there that you just saw of how difficult it is to hit anything with this 37mm cannon. Alright, so I'm out of here. There's plenty of fighters and not enough guys helping me out, so it is no point sticking around. But yeah, that very slow firing 30mm cannon, you do need to lead that quite a long way. Very similar to if you're familiar with the Mustang, you need to lead those machine guns quite a long way. This is very similar. Get it nice and out far in front of the enemy, and you'll get plenty of hits. Okay, so center is captured. Top and bottom points there are captured, and it looks like there's somebody down there. Okay, so it's an attack aircraft. Let's see if we can show off this 37mm just a little bit more. There's another one coming in there, so I'm going to come this way. Yeah, it might be just a little difficult. A few shots off. Okay, and then pull that up. So even not at great speed, that was a difficult. You saw the plane want to drop there before it actually got the nose up. That does make it quite difficult for you to pull out of a dive. Okay, getting a little bit closer. Let's see if we can get some good damage onto this guy here. Plenty of lead. And, yep, that's him gone. And we've got a few rounds left over for our friend here. Thank you very much. Alrighty, so good good amount of firepower you can get out before the weapon overheats, as you saw just there. We got some good damage done. So I'm going to boost out of here, get a bit of height, and spin around and get stuck back into the defense of this point. Actually, you know what I'm thinking? I might actually head towards the airfield, because this is technically an attack aircraft. I should be looking to capture points, not so much defend them. So let's see how we go. Now we are 3-2 up, and we really don't want to get behind at this point because it is pretty balanced. We want to keep the advantage here. Okay, so after this bow fighter, hopefully my aim is good. So excellent, we've got some work done there. Now if I'm going to get after this lightning and then clean up that bow fighter, I think that's probably the better way to do it. The bow fighter is pretty hurt, and this lightning here hasn't really noticed me, I hope. He's more after that tomahawk. So this should be a really good spot for us to get this damage done. And there we go, look at that. Fantastic. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to save the tomahawk, but he lasted long enough for us to be able to kill that lightning and then take out the bow fighter and really get a good spot to get this position back. So I'm going to boost, get away from that boomerang. Oop, lost a wing. Yep, always losing bits off this aircraft. It is tough to control. Okay, that's us. Let's get out of here so we don't cop any more damage. Fantastic. So that is 4-1. We are looking much better now and have 3 chevrons. So we're actually doing what we're supposed to be doing, and we're getting a few kills as well, which is good. So I'm going to head back in towards the middle. It's going to be tough to cap this point. We're going to have to go all the way down here in front of their spawn. But unfortunately, we've now lost the middle. So we know what to do. Let's get back in there. I'm going to get some height, stay away from those smaller aircraft, see what my allies are going to do, and then come in and be a real pain. I think that's probably the way to go. Well, maybe I'll just get this bomber first. So the fast attacks, the awesome damage in and pulling out of there and doing it again, doing the reset, getting some height. Can I please get a hit on this? Just a few hits. That would be really nice. Maybe I'll zoom in. Okay, that's better. Okay, and we secured our 4th chevron. Excellent. So let's swoop down and see what we can do. Now we do have bombs as well, which I tend to forget quite a lot. So I'm going to drop them right on that middle. Looks like oil silo or something, whatever that is right there. That is going to be my next target, and I'm going to come through. Ooh, looks like these guys are where I should be. So the game has just announced that victory is almost ours, and the scoreline is here, so we don't want to get shot down now. We really want to be careful of our hit points, but we've got that point back. Fantastic. Excellent. So it looks like I've found a really good team for this video. Very happy with that because it has been a tough day so far. But excellent work, team. We are doing really well, and it looks like we should be able to finish off this game without too much more difficulty. What have we got down there? So we've got some attack aircraft, so let's get rid of them. Since the scoreline's out of here, and they can't really escape all that well, I'm just going to hold down the W key here just to slow myself down a little bit. But yeah, see, this is the dive, and I'm a little concerned that I might not be able to make it out of here. That gun done its work? Yes, it has. And we got a fire set as well. Thank you. That is that universal ammo paying for itself already. Alright, fantastic. So, there we go. That is the game, and much happy with that one. We got some points, we got some chevrons, and we did some good work. So I'm going to pause it here, jump back into the hangar, and we'll go through both those games. See you in a sec, guys. Alrighty, well, I don't know about you, but I'm tired. That was some hard work. It was a lot of moving. I think that first game really took it out of me. I was panicking for the whole 9 minutes or 6 minutes or whatever it was, and yeah, man, that was tough work. So the first game we played there, yes, we did get the win, but we only got the 1 chevron and a 3rd rank. So yeah, pretty garbage for my standards. Not really happy with that score, but we got the win. So got a bit of XP there, not a whole lot of credits. What did we do? 6 kills, 3 assists, but we really didn't do much of what we needed to, because basically I was just panicking and doing big circles trying not to get shot down. You get that. That happens sometimes. And you see there, I still managed to get 8,000 combat points with the 1 chevron, but excellent work from these 2 tier 4s here, basically holding us up there. Excellent work from those 2 players. So that basically gave us a good understanding of what we can and can't do in terms of maneuverability and survivability in that game. And if we have a look at this game that we just saw, much happier with it. This, I suppose, having the 5 points there and the bit of time and space to think about what I wanted to do gave me a much better opportunity to showcase the power and the ability of this aircraft to score big. So for this one, 51,000 credits, 2,700 XP with 136 free. Thank you very much. We got the 4 chevrons, the rank 1, and we have here the Conqueror badge for 450, at least 450 capture points. Happy with that. We got Maguire medal, and we got Flying Raider badge. So very happy. Thank you very much. 12 kills, 5 assists, and 3 sectors captured, with 3,100 damage to aerial targets and only 635 to ground targets. So that's basically because I forgot that I had bombs. And I don't know how I forget I have bombs when they're that big, but yep, that's what happened. And I finally got that damage towards the end of the game there. Hopefully it helped, and then took out that bow fighter as well. So, got a few medals, got a few badges, and there we go. Now, I'm not sure what it is with these Tier 4s today, but boy, are they playing well. That is a really, really good score in a Tier 5 game. So excellent work to you, Asa, I suppose. Yep, we'll go with that. Excellent work, and if you do ever watch this video, hopefully you appreciate the call out there. And it was a tough battle. Sorry, we can't get the words out. Yeah, so we got to aircraft on both teams scoring really well. They basically kept up the fight right to the end there. It probably wasn't until after the squall and we started to get a few kills ahead that we really took the advantage there and was able to keep it. But definitely very happy with this. Top scored for the game, 11,555 combat points with the 4 chevrons. Just pipping the tier 4 here in the Japanese fighter. But there you go, guys. So good example of the speed, what not to do in terms of dive bombing. Was yeah, I know as I was going down, I pretty much knew that I was going to hit the deck regardless of what I did there. But you know what? It's a video, and it's hopefully giving you guys some ideas and some tips and tricks of what to do and not to do. Got a good showcase of the 37mm cannon there against heavy targets, and yeah. Hopefully that gives you a good guide as to how to go about flying this aircraft, and I hope you enjoy it. I certainly do. Now, I love the Beaufighter, but this guy is definitely a close second. I haven't gotten quite to the Russian heavy stuff yet, or the German, but I will definitely keep moving through those lines. But so far, I had a great time in this aircraft, and there's a lot of components to unlock, but still was very enjoyable. Alrighty guys, that's just about it. If you like what you've seen, please give the video a like and don't forget to subscribe. There'll be plenty more World of Warplanes content coming, plus a few other games that I'm starting to work on as well. And if you have any suggestions, if you would like to see any aircraft specifically, at this stage, I'm currently grinding through Tier 6 on a lot of lines, as you can see across the bottom here. So if you have any aircraft you would like me to specifically grind to and then feature on the channel, I will certainly do that. No problems. Just leave your requests in the comments below of any video that you watch for World of Warplanes, and I will get to that as soon as I can. Alright guys, that's all from me. Thanks so much for watching. I'm the Nerdy Beard. Take it easy.